Yo, 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 what is going on, everybody? Just shouts out to everyone who's watching this video, whether you're a new subscriber or, been here since day one. I just want to say hey, and it's an absolute honor just to be someone that you watch on YouTube and seek advice and support from on a regular basis. All right, so. I just decided in this moment that that this is the beginning of a mini series that all about the topic of not caring about what other people think. Okay, so, and the reason why I want to make it a mini series is because not caring about what people think is a very popular topic, and there's so many different angles that I can go about giving you support. Okay. Um, and as a disclaimer, yes, I have developed a lot in terms of, being more confident and caring less about what other people think. But that doesn't mean, you know, I don't have many moments where I'm concerned about, someone's perception of me. And just like everyone else, I have, like I want to be liked. I want to have good relationships. I want people to be impressed with my work. But there's a difference between like wanting those things and being like incapacitated because we're just so afraid. Okay. And so the way I'll put it is I I used to absolutely be afraid of what other people thought of me. And I used to at one time I was completely disconnected from myself and my truth and my natural self-expression. I lived entirely in my head. My I was disconnected from my body. Like I literally had to teach myself how to feel again, how to be in my body again. And I imagine that that's something many of you are going to be going through too because first of all, we're not really taught like we're not really given this type of support growing up, whether it's from our parents at home or the school system. Like, at least from what, in my upbringing, there's no conversation of, you know, getting out of your head. If anything, the conversation goes like, get out of your head. And it's like, if I could just get out of my head, I'd fucking do that, right? Um, And so let me start it off with this. It is so normal for you or any of y'all to care so much about what people think that you alter who you are to try and gain approval, right? It's the classic social media dilemma where it's like, we're trying, not that you're doing that or I'm doing this, but it's common for people to only post things that make them look good, only post the highlights, pretend to always be happy. And I know it's a common thing where some people look at other people's lives online and they feel depressed because it's like, oh my God, everyone seems to be living a perfect life. They're always fucking smiling. And here I am, like, I'm not happy like that. Um, and so if this is you, if you feel like you you refuse to take certain actions in your life because you're just afraid of what people might say or think or do, then you're on the normal side of human beings, right? More people are bogged down by fear of judgment than there are people who like don't care and still do whatever they want, right? So you're normal. Okay. And I can only share with you from my experience what worked for me. All right. So if I had to go straight to advice, right? Like what do you need to do to stop caring what other people think? Is you need to step my advice to you is my coaching to you is you need to step up to the plate and take actions even when you're afraid of judgment. Okay. And the thing is a lot of us, we want to feel ready and calm and comfortable before we take an action, instead of just being with whatever emotion we're feeling and taking the action anyways. Okay? Because, for example, and this is one of my favorite examples. So think about jumping off of a cliff into water, right? Think about just like jumping off the ledge of your pool into the water, and how you're not afraid to jump into the pool. There's no fear there. It's not that big. But if you make it 5 feet, there's a little bit of fear. If you put it 10 feet, a 10-foot cliff jump, many people will never do that jump, right? Because it's a normal human response to literally like shy away from edges and tall cliffs. And even though you know the water will keep you safe, the on a visceral nervous system level, it's hard to our bodies are designed to not fucking fall off of a cliff. And so in terms of so for me, right? A couple years ago, I jumped off an 80-foot cliff into water. But the process of building up the confidence to do that was I had to jump off of 5 feet and then 10 feet. And the reality is, literally what I had to do is train myself that when I'm at the edge of a jump, that despite how I feel, I need a strategy that allows me to just jump. Literally a strategy that to override the survival mechanism in me, right? Where it's like I feel the fear, but on the count of three, when I on three, I'm just gonna move my body such that I've jumped. So it's 1, 2, 3, jump, right? And so I use that same strategy when I got to the 80 footer, right? But the only way I was able to override my fear of danger at 80 feet, I had to train myself and remove the fear of danger at 10 feet, then 15, then 20. And so the fear was still there, but I had a system to take action despite the fear. Right. And so what happened was you gain confidence with every time you do something that you're afraid to do, and you come out, not even if you don't even have to have succeeded, but knowing that you tried despite your fears and you're still alive, like you didn't die, because that's the thing that we're all afraid of, that like we're gonna die. That if I, for example, I used to be afraid of, I don't want to be judged for wearing my certain sense of fashion, right? And it's like, oh, I don't want to be judged for that. But when I wear what I want to wear and I go out in public and no one's like out there, I mean, even if someone was like, you look like, if someone was like, your fashion sense sucks and I think you're a fucking loser, like, even if someone said that, which is like what all of our worst fears are anyways, like I wouldn't die. And so on a nervous system level, I'd be like, oh, like who cares what people think, because literally nothing happens. Literally nothing happens. They're like, like someone like you the process of becoming bulletproof to other people's opinion is to take other people's opinion and realize that you don't die. You don't die. Like, and don't get me wrong. So, for example, maybe, a common thing for people on this channel is that their parents don't approve of them smoking. And that's a tricky one, right? Because on a visceral level, like we want the approval and love of our parents. We want the love and approval of the people in our community. Because back in the day, we heavily depended on one another to survive. And so if we were the type of person that did something that the group didn't approve of, like literally our chances of survival would decrease, because if the group doesn't approve of our behavior, then the group can decide that they're not going to want to support us, and there goes the support of the group, right? And there goes my ability to survive at a high level. And so see if you can just give yourself the like the grace and the like the gift of be less harsh on yourself about it. Like your fear of what other people think is literally like a product of evolution, right? And so it's okay if, despite your best efforts, you still can't like take action because you're afraid of what other people think. And if you're interested in becoming someone that really cares less about what other people think, and you're able to just do you and be you and say your piece and share your art and move in whatever direction in life you want to move, my coaching to you is to stop waiting to feel comfortable before you take actions. Like, take the actions despite feeling uncomfortable. And what you'll learn on an unconscious, subconscious level is that you can handle it. You can handle it. You really can. You really can. Like, I assure you, like, someone can say the meanest, nastiest thing to you, and it may knock you down for a little bit, but you'll fucking come back on top and be like, oh fuck, like, F that. F the haters. Like, let them hate, right? Just what I've realized is that it is way more painful to sacrifice who you really are in favor of gaining more approval from people that really look. If people aren't gonna fucking love you for who you are, then they don't, like, you shouldn't want them in your fucking life. And that's the irony of it, where it's like we're willing to be someone fake to gain fake approval, but then you're literally being approved for being not you, right? So it is such an ironic, like, backwards thinking approach to things. But don't get me wrong, like, I was there too. So, for whatever reason, we're wired to want people's approval, most of us at least, and it takes conscious effort to unlearn and unwire that and retrain it. So it's like, one, give yourself some slack, right? Like, you're doing your best. Two, accept that it is your best interest to take actions despite the fear of judgment. And three, what you'll realize is that it's way better to be you and be hated for being you than to be fake and be adored for being someone you're not. And that at the end of the day, one of the things you're likely looking for is just to be at peace. Like, you don't, like, oh my God, I swear to God, I had a mental script to handle any social situation so that I look good and that I receive praise. Like, I navigated the world through my head, and I wasn't in touch with my truth because I had a pre-programmed set of lines to handle the world. And that's no way to live. Not that you can't, have your go-to lines, but it was at the point where, like, I needed to have lines so I can predict the future because I was so nervous. So nervous, insecure, anxious, all that. And so, anyways, I hope this video was helpful. Like I said, this is a mini series, and we're going to continue talking about this topic. Very curious to know down in the comments below, what are your thoughts? Where are you in terms of, fear of judgment or caring about what other people think or not? Really want to hear where you're at. If you're someone who, if you're someone who feels like you truly don't care what other people think, and you earned your way and you trained your muscles, like, leave it in the comments below, like, what's worked for you. Like, how did you learn that, like, what other people think doesn't matter? What did you do such that you know you became someone that cared about your true self, as opposed to receiving fake love from the world, right? Anyways, that's it. That's it for today. I appreciate everyone that watches this video. I apologize if sometimes they ran a little too long. I know I can go on like ranty, kind of like, it's a slow burn, as some of you have mentioned in the comments before. So, I appreciate you just letting me make these videos how I want to make these videos. All right. So that's it. That's it for today. Shouts out to my girl Liz Trell. um, just had to do that. And yeah, I will see y'all in the next video. Congrats again to everyone who completed the 7-day weed free challenge. I am absolutely over the moon for those of you that saw some success in that challenge. Okay, that's it. I love you all. See you next time. Peace.